What's going on? Back again for another live stream. See if you guys want to talk some McKenzie Milton. Some big news the other day. I feel like the news cycle is already over, so I'm probably should have done this a day or two ago. But how do we talk about the McKenzie Milton thing? Okay, it's probably a nuanced answer. First of all, I think you should quell expectations. If those of you who are watching this and don't know, I figure if you're watching this, you probably do know. If you're watching some stranger on YouTube talk Florida State football, but McKenzie Milton is the UCF quarterback, part of the 2017 team that went undefeated. He had nearly 4,000 passing yards that year, like 37 touchdowns, hardly any picks, 600 rushing yards that year. Like, he was one of the better quarterbacks in college football that year, and played in 2018 as well, was having a good year. And then he had a devastating injury when they played South Florida at the end of the year. Literally like Alex Smith, like leg nearly might have been amputated if shit didn't go well. So he was a great player, but it's been 2 years since he's played competitive football. And UCF's current quarterback has really taken the reins and kicked ass, and he still has years of eligibility left. And he's friends with McKenzie, and McKenzie decided, you know what, it's his team now. Time for me to move on, see if I can play somewhere. So he chose to go to Florida State. And what does that mean for the Noles? Well, it means, if anything, that the QB room just got some more much-needed veteran presence, some more depth. So going to next year, you'll have Milton, you'll have Jordan Travis, you'll have Chuba Purdy, and Rodemaker. So 2 kids, a returning starter, and McKenzie Milton, who, again, when he was healthy, was awesome. A top 10, top 15 quarterback in the country. Is he going to be that when he gets to FSU? Let me turn this off. Sorry. That's hard to say. We can't count on it. I mean, it was a devastating injury. He recently, this fall, got cleared to return to the football field. So he's been running their scout team. And I've seen some of his clips that he's posted from his practices he posted them on his Instagram. And he looked pretty good as far as mobility. Like, he was scrambling outside the pocket, making some throws on these practice clips. But who's to say? I think it's too much of an assumption to say he's going to be the starter in 2021. Travis will have a say in that. Purdy will have a say in that. I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that you can put Tate Rodemaker at the bottom of that list. But I think it'd be foolish to go ahead and say Milton is going to be the starter. If he's 90, 95% healthy, I don't see how he wouldn't be. And if he's able to play with like reckless abandon, which is how he played prior to the injury, then sure, yeah, he'll be the starter. But we don't know that yet. And who's to say Jordan Travis, with another legitimate offseason with this staff, become a little bit better of a passer, right? We know he's dynamic with his legs. He just used rushing record for a quarterback. I think he has 600 yards now rushing. He bested Charlie Ward this past game. Okay, so we know he's dynamic with his legs, but he's limited with his arm. But at the same time, you can't just say, oh, well, this is the type of thrower Travis is going to be throughout his duration of in college. Like, he's ceiling is limited, right, with his arm, accuracy specifically. But I think it'd be foolish not to say he could get better. Like, I'd have to look up his stats, but I think his completion percentage is in the neighborhood of 60, which isn't good in 2020. Okay. So if he can get that up to maybe a little bit more average, maybe like 65% to go with his dual threat ability, then okay, he might very well be the starter next year. Again, I'm not going to put it past him. Like, just get him to a point where he's, again, average to above average with his arm. He's never going to be great with it, I don't think. But another offseason under Norvell and Dillingham, maybe he gets to be an average to above average passer. And you combine that with his elite ability to run. And for a quarterback, he's pretty damn close to elite when it comes to running. He's got speed, he's got elusiveness, toughness. So he'll be pushed by Milton, and Milton will also bring to the table, of course, just kind of a positive influence. And other beat reporters, and I'm not a beat reporter, I would say beat reporters and other folks have already mentioned this, but when you're rebuilding and you're trying to change the culture, okay, players like Milton can help you do that. Because by all accounts, he's a great leader, great teammate. Players love him. So that can help, because during a rebuild, you kind of need that shit. When you have shit humming and you have a roster littered with 4 and 5 stars and you're winning 10 plus games a year, yeah, culture might be a little less important. It's still relevant, but maybe a little less important. But when you're fucking literally, wiping the slate clean, essentially, this is year 0, not year 1. Yeah, you also need the character to help, in the culture to help get buy-in. Okay, because this is a rebuild, unfortunately, and it's going to take a minute. And no one has jumped in the chat, so maybe I'll just get out.